Hi guys, it's me SB Studs, and welcome back to LEGO Set Saturdays. This is the series where I build and review a LEGO set and then give my personal opinion on the set in an out of 10 rating system. Today, I'm reviewing LEGO set 75956, which is the LEGO Harry Potter Quidditch match. It is 500 pieces, 6 minifigures. It is recommended for ages 7 to 14 and costs $49.99 in Australia. But before we get into today's review, my channel is nearing 200 subscribers. So if you want to see more LEGO content like set reviews, mock showcases, and more, then go down below and destroy that like and subscribe button. And ring the bell for notifications as it helps me to keep creating content. And while you're down there in the description liking the video, hop over to my Instagram. I post tutorials from my mock videos and sneak peeks of thumbnails and videos. So if you want to check it out, the link to my Instagram is in the description below. But with all that out of the way, let's have a look at the minifigures. So, starting off with the star of the show, we have Harry Potter. He is in his very nice Gryffindor Quidditch robes. If you have a look at him, he's got these short white legs and these robes for Quidditch, which look pretty nice and a bunch of upgrade from his last Quidditch robes. He's then got this nice scarlet cape, and underneath he's got a little bit of printing, which is pretty accurate, I'd say. Pretty good printing, pretty nice printing. Then he has a golden snitch, which I think looks pretty cool. If you don't know what happens, basically this gets released into the air, and then basically whichever team catches it, not only is the game ended once the snitch is catched, but that team that caught it then gets 150 points. So it's a pretty big thing to catch the snitch. Then we have his broom. It's just a reddish-brown broom, pretty regular, pretty standard. Then we have his face. He has a pretty nice smiling face, which is in all the episode 1 and 2 sets, I believe. And then if we turn his hair around, he has this pretty fantastic scared face, which I really love, and they do a really good job at making him look quite young, because that's what he is, and he is 1 and 2. And then he has this hairpiece, which was introduced in 2018, and that's basically not only to show his like hair, but also to leave this gap specifically so we can see his scar. So that's pretty nice, really like that. Next up we have Hermione Granger. This is basically Harry Potter's version of a farm boy Luke, being overcommon and overused, although she is, again, pretty accurate. She has some black short legs, and this really nice Hogwarts sweater piece, but it is unfortunately very overused, so it's not that desirable, although it does look pretty accurate with the tie and the sweater and stuff like that. Then if we have a look on the back, and you just give me a bit of time to remove her hairpiece, you can see the whole of the back printing. It's pretty nice. Just got some folds and stuff like that. But overall, it is not too desirable very really much. Then she has this really nice, I think, in my opinion, smiling face. The only thing is that her eyes are a bit too big, because, like, if you have a look at Harry Potter's eyes, his eyes are just, like, a bit smaller, and if you have a look at any of the other minifigures, like Severus Snape, her eyes are, like, really, really big. They look really big to me. I think that they just have made them a bit smaller, but, you know, I guess that's not that much of a problem. And then she has this concerned face, kind of scared, I guess, in a way, but, you know, I actually really like that. Not sure if it quite fits young Emma Watson, but, you know, maybe it does. I do not remember the first movie that well. Anyway, yeah, that's really Hermione Granger in a nutshell. Then we have Severus Snape. This is pretty accurate to the movies. I think, in my opinion, I really like him. He has these nice black robes that continue down to his legs in printing, and then he also has this purple vest. Or not vest, I guess, but shirt, which I really like. I will say that the colour for his chest is really off. Lego really needs to fix that because it just doesn't matter, just doesn't match at all. Then if we turn around, you see some of his back printing. It's pretty accurate, although just nothing special really. Then we have his face. He has this sort of, I guess, it's like a neutral expression, kind of like he almost looks inquisitive in a way. But I really like all the headlines and the cheek lines and stuff like that. I really like that. And then he has a secondary expression, which, if you just have a quick look at this, it's like a full-on snarl, really angry face, really just enjoyable face, which I also think is really good. And now this expression, he is eye bags, which I think is really accurate to how someone would look if they were that angry. Then he just has what I call the slick back, not slick back necessarily, but just black surfer hair, which is pretty accurate to how Alan Rickman looked during the shooting of the first movie. And then we just have his regular wand piece. It's in black. And yeah, that's Severus Snape. Now we have Oliver Wood. He is the keeper for the Gryffindor team and also the captain of the Gryffindor team for the first, second, third, fourth, and I believe fourth book. I don't know. Anyway, he has some regular size white pants, the Gryffindor robes, which I believe are the same as Harry's. He has a reddish-brown broomstick, just like Harry does. He then has a soft cloth cape that is in scarlet, and again, that's just his back printing. Then he has this very sort of neutral expression, sort of disgruntled in a way, but it's just used on a lot of minifigures, just not desirable at all. Would have liked a new face print. And then we have his hair, which I don't really know what to call it. I guess I'll call it shaggy hair. Not shaggy, but just messed up hair in reddish brown, which is unusual because normally we get it in dark brown, so it's nice to get it in reddish brown, which I think was quite nice. So that is Oliver Wood. Then we have Marcus Flint. This guy is pretty similar to the Gryffindors, however, he is wearing his Slytherin robes. He has some plain white legs, the Slytherin robe torso, which looks pretty cool with all its robe details. He then has this dark green soft cloth cape, which if you open up, it's pretty similar to the Gryffindors, just very simple printing on the back. Then he has two accessories, a quaffle, which basically is the ball of this game, and then also he has a broomstick, which is pretty good, and in fact, this broomstick is designed so you can put the quaffle on it and you can fire it, which is a pretty cool feature, I think. Then he does his face expression. He has just a very, very goofy, sort of ugly-looking expression. He looks kind of like one of he looks like just really dumb, pretty much. And then he has no other expression. And then he has a black bowl cut hairpiece. So that is Marcus Flint. Then we have Lucius Ball, I think that's how you say his name. He is the Slytherin beater for the team. Beaters are the ones who basically bat away all the bludgers, and I'll explain what bludgers are when I get to that play feature. But basically, this guy is pretty much the same as the last guy. He has some white pants, the Slytherin robes with the dark green cape, and the exact same back printing. He comes with a plain black broom, and also a beater or a club or something like that. I don't know exactly what it's called, but basically that's used to bat away all the bludgers. He then has two expressions. He has a quite nice smiling expression, and then this bit more disappointed expression, which you can see here. So that's when obviously Slytherin loses, because no one likes Slytherin apparently. Apart from those in Slytherin, which I actually am in Slytherin, or Hufflepuff, I can't remember. I'd like to be in Slytherin, or Hufflepuff, who cares. And then finally he has some reddish-brown spiky hair. So that is all the minifigures. Let's go and have a look at the builds. So, This set has 3 main builds: the Slytherin Grandstands, the Gryffindor Grandstands, and the Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw Grandstands, and then the scoring hoops. Let's go and have a look at the Slytherin Grandstand. This is a pretty basic build, just got the green and grey / silver colour scheme of Slytherin. It has some symbols on the front, just of regular Slytherin stuff, and a Slytherin banner. It then has a green flag on top, and then a place for a minifigure set. Here I've got Snape, because he's a Slytherin teacher. And then behind him, we don't have anything in here, but we do have a cog, because in the movie, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Hermione decides to set Snape's pants on fire. I will not tell you why, but she does do that, and there's a feature for that. And I think that this is a really nice, really cute feature, definitely one of my favourites, and probably the funniest, I guess, in the whole build. I really like it. Okay, let's move on to the Gryffindor Grandstand. Here it is. It's pretty much the same as the Slytherin Grandstand, just with a few notable differences. Instead of the green and grey colour scheme, it has its yellow and red colour scheme. Then there is a red flag on top and a place for a minifigure set. Here I've got Hermione Granger, because she is, as probably most of you know, a Gryffindor. Then there's space behind this grandstand for a really neat play feature, which is basically where you can grab a Gryffindor player and you can get them to fly out of here. So you can put them through like this. Woo! And stuff like that. I think this is a really neat play feature, and I really like that they included that, because that's a nice way to recapture what actually happens in the movies. Then let's move on to the main build, I guess, with the scoring hoops and the 2 other grandstands. Let's start with the scoring hoops. This is basically how you score in Quidditch. Each hoop, I believe, is a different score. I believe the middle one is 10, this one is 5, and this one is 1 or 2, something along those lines. And then we have a goalie, or a keeper, I guess they're called in the movies. And this guy is Oliver Wood, the Gryffindor keeper, and he can move from side to side, which is my favourite feature in this whole set, to basically block the quaffle from, or the ball, quaffle, whatever, from going into the hoops. And that's caused by a lever at the back. So you can flick that lever from side to side. But make sure you're careful around the hoops, however, because as you just saw, they do snap off incredibly easy. But the hoops are captured quite well, and I think that LEGO did a great job with them, and recapturing the height differences in each one, so I do really like that. Then we've got sand on the bottom, and green grass sloping on either side. Unfortunately, there are these technic bars which are a bit visible, but that's kind of okay. We have this small stool for the Quidditch Cup, which is just a regular gold cup, so you can get one of the teams to win that. And then you also have a stud shooter to shoot the bludgers, which basically, as you're going along, the bludgers will shoot at you, and they'll try and knock you off your broom. And these guys, with their clubs, will try and hit them away to the other teammates, so that they get knocked off their brooms. And basically, it just works like this. Just the stud shooter just shoots out pretty simply, just like every other stud shooter. And if you do lose it, no worries, because there are a bunch of them in the back over there. Now let's have a look at the Hufflepuff grandstand. Basically, these are non-detachable. You could technically detach them, but honestly, you'd have to remove the technic bar and then a couple of other pieces, so I just prefer to keep it stable like that. You have some Hufflepuff symbols here, and you have a box over here, which I don't really know what you put in it. Probably, I don't know, maybe a microphone, or I don't know, maybe a quaffle or something like that. Maybe a couple of bludgers could be put in there, something like that. And then you have these speakers, which basically, these are used by the, I guess, commentator to commentate the game, so that everyone can hear. And these 2 signs show which houses are playing today. So we do currently have Slytherin and Gryffindor here. However, if you do turn this around, there is 2 slots for the other team's banners, Hufflepuff to play, and also Ravenclaw to play. However, since the set doesn't come with any Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw players, then I just prefer to keep it just with Slytherin and Gryffindor. And then, again, just like the other grandstands, there is a place for someone to sit. Then we have on this side, we have the Ravenclaw grandstand. There is a chest out front of it which you can detach, and that has another quaffle in it. Pretty basic stuff. Instead of like all the other houses, this one has a grey and a blue colour scheme. I think in the real one it's actually bronze and blue, but you know, whatever. And I think that this one looks pretty nice. It has some more Ravenclaw symbols and a Ravenclaw banner. Then it also has a loudspeaker, which is a very simple build. But you know, that's that. And it has a blue flag, someone to sit, and there is no play features behind it. Honestly, I think that this one's the most lacking, because it just doesn't have any play features. Surely Lego could have thought of some sort of play feature, which I guess would have been nice. But you know what? It's okay, all the others pretty much make up for it. But anyway, that's all I've really got to say about the builds themselves, but let's go into some thoughts on this build. So, now just some overall thoughts on this build. I do think that the overall build is very good. I will say the biggest disappointment is the Ravenclaw grandstands, as there's just no play features apart from this very, very little megaphone. I just think that they could have added something in. I don't know quite, but you know, they definitely could have added something in. Another thing, why is this flag black? It looks horrible in black. I normally display it with a yellow flag because I have one of those. But for some reason, Lego decided to do black. I think it looks much better with yellow. Any other things? I do like the small little builds. Just, I guess, would have liked for them to cover up those technique parts. But overall, I will say it's a very good set. The builds are pretty great. And just some minifigures maybe that could have been included. I maybe would have liked, I don't know. I know that this is recapturing the scene from the movie, but just so that they could have done that, I would have liked for maybe a Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff player to be included, because then I guess it would make sense to switch out these two signs so you could actually make them play. But overall, I think that the minifigure choice is pretty good. The builds are pretty nice, and the set price is reasonable. I think it's really reasonable. For $50, this is a pretty good set. But anyway, that's all my overall thoughts. So I think I'll rate this set a good 8.5 out of 10. That's why I'm going to rate it. I think that deserves it. So that's all I've really got to say about this set, guys. Let's go to the outro. So yeah, guys, thank you all for watching to the very end. I really appreciate it. Also, if you enjoyed this video, which you probably did if you watched to the very end, then please do go down below and like and subscribe, so it helps me to keep creating more content. And if you like this sort of content, that's probably what you want. So please do go down below and like and subscribe. And while you're subscribing, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. Also, while you're down there in the description below, make sure to go over to my Instagram. I post tutorials from my mock videos and sneak peeks for thumbnails and videos, so if you want to check that out, link to my Instagram is in the description below. But that's all I've really got to say, guys. Sterling, out.